Hi everybody, it's Alyce-Kay Ruckelshaus from Threshold of Hineni, and we're going to work on envelopes today. But first I just wanted to show you the finished notebooks now that the glue has dried. Or I shouldn't call these notebooks, they're tablets. I do a different thing for notebooks. So these are tablets. So this is a real little one. Here's one that we had that we folded the papers over and made a long tall one with a little rosette and some lace. This one we have some ribbon across the top and a bead on top of a little lace bow. And we have this one with the folded over lace and burlap and a button and a twine bow that we put through it. We have this cute little one with a tassel hanging off of it and lace. And then we have this one that has the larger paper, and it's got some linen and rayon yarn and a button and some gingham trim there. So those were the little notebooks that we had made, and we won't be putting these in the journal until we bind it. So I'm going to set these aside for now. Okay, so our main thing today is to work on envelopes. And yes, my clock is working now. So this time I should be able to do it all in one video. I'm just going to do as many as I can in half an hour. I'm going to try to show you a lot of different ways that I do them. But first I want to, most of these, I went ahead and I punched them, and I did the, whatchamacallit, the distressing on it and everything. But I saved a couple of them so that we could do it together, so I could show you how to make the envelopes. Now what I like to use is this. It's the We Are Memory Keepers envelope punch board, and the last time that I looked, this was $6.99. I got it for $9.99, which I thought was a steal then, but they've decreased the price to $6.99. I don't know if it'll always stay that way, or even maybe they're selling out, but I do have it linked below so you can look. Okay, so I'm going to show you first of all the punching. It's really, really easy. When I first got this, I followed the directions, and it was very complex because I was like, okay, what size do I want the envelope to be? So what size paper do I need to cut out, and where exactly do I need to line it up? And that's great. If you have something specific to go inside of an envelope, so you need the envelope to be a specific size, or you want it to take up a certain amount of space on the page, definitely look at this. But otherwise, you guys, just cut a bunch of squares, and they have to be squares, of all different sizes, and then you can just decide what shape you want the envelope to be. And by shape I mean square or rectangle, right? Okay, if you want it to be square, then you want to have this, see that little metal thing right there inside there? You want to have that as close as possible to the center if you want your envelope to be square. So we're going to make this one square. If you want it to be rectangle, then you can move it anywhere along the side, not too close to the edge, but you know, just move it a little bit and it'll be more of a rectangle. All right, then there's this nice little bone folder here. And so after I've punched that, I keep it where it is, and see this little line here that goes underneath, and you can feel it with your bone folder here, and you're going to score it. Okay, now here's the part that's a little hard if your lighting isn't good or if your eyesight isn't very good like mine. You want to line this thing up here with the part where it was scored. Okay, so you probably can't see that line, but there's a line where I had scored it. Okay, I'm going to score it and then punch. It doesn't matter if you punch first or score first, but you just want to keep it in the same place while you do it. Okay, and then I'm lining it up again, and I'm lining it up more by feel than by looking at it. Sometimes I turn it over to the blank side, and that makes it a little bit easier to see, but not really. Okay, and lining that up and scoring. Okay, so then you've got this little shape right here. Okay, then you're going to fold it. Now I want this design to be on the outside, but I could do it either way. I'm going to fold it, make sure I've got a nice crease, fold it on the score line, make sure I've got a nice crease, fold it again on the score line, make sure I've got a nice crease. Okay, so you can see there's my little envelope, and then here's the top. And there's also, you can punch this edge here, right up here at the top, like that, and it's rounded. Okay, so that's cute. So there's our envelope. This is the side that would probably show. Okay, and then I do my distressing after I do all that punching. I distressed this one beforehand just because I didn't want to have to be distressing it on camera, because it just takes so much time, and you all know how to distress, right? So we've got that one done. Okay, so let's go ahead and do another one. This one's not distressed at all. I'm going to make this one into a rectangle. So here's the center. It's centered right here. Okay, I'm just going to move it a little bit. I don't want to move it like way over here, because then I would have, the side would be like this big. It'd be really small. So I don't want to make it too long and narrow, but this is going to make it fairly long and narrow this way. Okay, and then I'm going to score. Let's turn it over. See if you guys can see that a little bit better. Okay, so we're gonna match that scoring up. I already punched here, so we're gonna score. Yeah, I think we can see that better. Can you see that on the camera at all? All right, and then punch, score, line it up, punch, score, and then line this up with that. And we already have it scored on this side because we had done it. Okay, so that's going to give us a nice little rectangle envelope, which can be tall or it can be long, either way. The nice thing, okay, and then I would cut this off or fold it under. And then here we've got this, and we can punch so that we can leave it pointed like that if we want, or we can punch it so that it's rounded. Okay, so now it's rounded. See, and that looks really cute. So we've got, this is kind of a long envelope, but if we wanted it to be tall, then all we have to do is go like this. Okay, and then you've got a tall envelope. So you can do this with any size paper, but it needs to be a square. All right, so I've got a couple of pieces of paper here. If we have time at the end, which we probably won't, but if we do, then we can make a couple from scratch. But you know how to cut a square, so that's not hard. Oh, I wanted to tell you too, if I had it to do over again, okay, I didn't get this until June. And so I had been doing junk journals for about 6 months before I got this. If I had known how wonderful this thing is and how useful it is, this would have been the very first tool that I got. Okay, and for $6.99, you guys, seriously. Okay, not only can you make envelopes with it, but I also use this part here where it punched out that. I use that for the thumb hole in pockets. All right, and then there's all kinds of times that you can use the reverse punch to round corners, you know, on every corner of a tag, for example. So I use this little tool for so many things. It just gets used all the time, and it's so inexpensive. You would pay $9.99 for a half circle punch to punch a hole up at the top of your pockets. You would pay $9.99 for a reverse punch to give you rounded corners, and then, you know, here you've got those two things, and you've got this thing that makes all these envelopes. Okay, the other thing that I have that makes envelopes, I'm just going to show you really quickly, is this. This is the Works by We Are Memory Keepers. It's got a paper cutter. It makes envelopes. It makes tags. It makes all kinds of things. I think I counted like 14 different things one time. There's little things that are magnetized back here and stuff that you can pull out. It's really, really neat. I prefer the small one for making my envelopes unless I'm making a really big envelope. But the nice thing about the Works, I use it here too for other things. But the nice thing about the Works is that it's really easy to take with you when you want to go places. Okay, so let's look at some different things that we can do with the envelopes. Okay, remember this is not the cover, and we'll probably do the cover on the next one. Because I've chosen my paper. Okay, so we're going to make we're going to put some envelopes in here. We're going to figure out, okay, I want to have some stuck in here, and I'll just show you really quickly with the little tablets. See, this is what I like to do, is I like to put one in the belly bands, and I'll put some in pockets and stuff like that. Okay, so that's how we'll use those, but we won't put them in until we bind the book, because they'll just be in the way until then. So I want to put a pretty big envelope here, and they're really easy to put together, and that fits on the page, right? Yeah. Okay, so all we have to do is glue, and I like to use glue stick for this rather than the other glue. First of all, I want to make sure that my corner is not going to cut, this corner right here is not going to come above that, so it's not. Okay, and I'm going to just glue right along that edge and this edge. That's all. Okay, hold these down, push this up, and there you go. You've got your envelope all done. Voila. Isn't that cool? Okay, so this one we're going to leave as an envelope. We might stick something in it or we might not. We'll decide that when we are filling up the book. But it'll go in here like that. And I'm going to go ahead and put that here right now. Okay, then I've got this thing. This has a corner on it. This has a pocket. That has a pocket. This has some writing spaces. All right, this needs something. So that needs to be kind of a small one. And I think what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to make it so, yeah, I want this to be able to open up. So this is going to be a writing space. So what we're going to do is we're not going to glue it. We're just going to close it up like this and attach it to this. Okay, and I think what I want to do is I want to make it so that it can be a side pocket. So I'm going to, or actually no, let's make it a top pocket because we need some stuff sticking out the top. Wow, twine. Okay, so we're not going to glue the top. We're only going to glue the two sides and the bottom. So I'm going to hold on to the top so I know which side is the top. And I'm going to glue right along here. Okay, and then I go back with this glue. I love this glue because it holds really well. But it does get a little bumpy if you don't smash it down. So I use the nozzle to kind of smash it down. Okay, and then also you want to store it upside down. Okay, so I'm going to, and look at, see this? Isn't that cool? I've got the torn edge there. I should probably distress that. That would look really cool. Okay, so I'm going to put this on here, and then I'll show you what I mean about leaving it for writing space. Hold on, I've got some glue coming out the side here. Don't want that to catch onto the next page. Oops, or here. Okay, and we'll be able to stick a card in there with a with a ribbon or something that'll stick up at the top. But you can open it up like this and then you can write in here. And yeah, there's writing and there's design and everything, but pens, the nice dark pens like a Uniball gel pen, I love. And I often send those with my journals if I remember to. I don't promise that because sometimes I don't remember, and so that's not part of what you're paying for. It's just an extra gift. But if I send it, then that works really well inside there. I'll try to remember to put a link at the bottom because I love those pens. They're really great. Okay, should we do another envelope in here? Maybe so. Let's do, or if we have a couple small ones. Yeah, we can have these stacked right above each other. Okay, so these are going to be writing spaces too. So I'm going to show you something that I like to do to create writing spaces in these because there's no lines or anything, and you don't have to have lines when you write, obviously, but it's nice, right? So Gail Augustinelli uses corrugated cardboard, which is really cool. Just look around your house for something to use. I found these, my little cookie thing. I don't know why I'm using the blending tool. I should use the pad. Okay, and then I just stick this down on here and it's going to make lines for me really nicely. And what happened to my roller? Okay, well, sometimes I use the roller, but sometimes I just use my hands to just smooth over it to make sure I get as much ink as possible. And see that? You've got nice lines there. And they're going to be probably diagonal because you're going to have your thing like this, right? So they'll open up and they'll be diagonal for writing on. Okay, that's cool, right? Okay, so let's do this one also. And I'm going to add some more ink to this. Okay, close up my ink so it doesn't dry out. By the way, you guys, if you use your ink a lot, I really, really recommend getting ink refill for your pad because I refill that, I don't know, probably every 2 or 3 months. And it's not very expensive. It's like $6 or so, I think, but that's not much when you consider how long it lasts. Let's see if I can get one more line on there. Okay, so there's my lines. I've got a cat in here, and she's getting into my ribbons and stuff. Okay, so I'm going to stack these on top of each other. I want to make sure, first of all, that they fit. And I kind of pay attention to, like, what do I want on the top? I want this one to be on the top like that. Okay, and then this, I want to make sure that these are going to fit. Okay, like this. Yeah, those are both going to fit on the page. Okay, so we'll go ahead and we'll glue them in. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a side pocket from this one and a top pocket from this one. Okay, so get our glue and I hold on to the top. That reminds me not to glue that side. Okay, and I'm going to just glue right along here, run my nozzle through it, glue here. I'm actually kind of barely squeezing the bottle so I don't get too much glue. All right, and this is going to go up close to the top here. And see how quickly you can do these if you have your envelopes already made up. It really helps to just like, you know, sit and watch a movie and create your envelopes. Okay, no glue seeping out, and let's do this one. So here's the top. Oh wait, we want this side. So we want this side over here. So I'm going to hold on to that side, and I don't want the top open, because if I had the top open, it would be, it's not the end of the world, but it would be in the way of the other envelope opening. You'd have to take out whatever tag you have in there or something before you open up the envelope. Okay, so we've got 2 writing spaces here on this little tiny piece right here. Isn't that cool? Okay, so when we have these closed, and we'll, you know, we're going to put prompts and other decorations on these and everything after we cover the journal. Some of them will need it, some of them won't. And so we can put in a tag right here at the top, and we can put in a tag right here at the side. Okay, so let's see what else we've got. We've got this. Okay, come on, you guys, let's close up. It doesn't want to stay closed. There we go. And I better put this glue upside down. Okay, so we've got this nice tall thing here because this is a flip open. So I think I want an envelope either right here or on the inside, and I think where I want it is right here. So let's see if I have a long tall one. I'm not sure if I did any long tall ones actually. And that one's too wide. That one's too wide. Oh, I may not have done any tall ones. That's too bad. Usually I do. Nope. Okay. Well, mostly I did squares. That's unusual. I wasn't thinking as I was doing this, and I really did mostly squares. Okay, so I think what I'll do is I will do, I think this is going to be actually an envelope. Okay, and we'll put it right here. And then we'll have one that's a writing space that can be, let's see, or should we do, let's do the envelope on top and the writing space on the bottom. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to put this one in. So this is going to be an envelope. So we're going to glue it shut. And I'm going to make sure first that this doesn't come up higher than that. It doesn't. In fact, it comes down pretty low. So I'm going to put a little bit of glue right here on the tip of this one. Not a lot. I don't want it to glue the envelope shut, but just enough to overlap with this right here. Okay, and then I'm going to put my glue just on the edges of this part right there. And I like using this old catalog for doing my glue on. We've got lots of glue there. Because when I get too much glue on it, then I can just tear off the page and throw it away. And then I've got another clean page. And that way I'm not wasting these catalogs, you know. They've been sitting around and I order boxes and bags and stuff from them, but I still have space to, but I still can use it again for this. Okay, so I'm going to leave it open at the top. Okay, for a notebook. I mean, not a notebook, for a tag or a card or something. And we can still put something in the envelope too. So we've got like 2 places for tags on this one. We've got something, or probably some stationery or something that we'll put inside here. And then we can put a tag back behind this. Okay, and then what do we want down here? Oh, I like this one. That's pretty. It's a nice contrast. Okay, so let's go ahead and we'll fold it and we'll see which way we like it. It's not a square, but it's a little bit of a rectangle. Okay, so we could do it this way so it opens up like that, or we could do it sideways. I think I want to make it going up and down. Okay, so I'm not going to glue this one shut because this is going to be writing space. I'm going to leave the opening over here, so I'm going to hold on to this and just go along the edges here. Don't get too close to the edge because it'll squish out. The glue will squish out. I have it here, like so. Okay, and wipe off the glue that's coming out. That can go into my Franken paper scraps. Okay, and then I've got an opening right over here for putting in a card or a tag. Okay, so that's nice. Not sure yet what I'm going to put here. I need to do something there. Not sure what. Okay, and then we've got pockets and everything. I'm kind of just like putting these in almost any place that still has openings. Yeah, let's put one here. And I like how we've got a butterfly here, so we'll probably come back to this and decorate this with a butterfly up here, because it'd be nice to have a butterfly down here and a butterfly up here. But for the most part, we're not doing any decorating right now. We're just filling it up and decorating after we bind it, when we put in our prompts, because this is a directed journal that'll have prompts for the person to write about. Okay, so that's nice. I think we're going to make this an envelope. So let's go ahead and put a little bit of glue right here. A bit of that. Let's put a little bit here on the end. Like that. And then which one do I want to be the, I want this to be the top. So I'm going to take glue and put it on the edges here. There we go. Okay, so I've got my nice envelope there. And there we go. I'm going to hold this aside for a moment because I might actually do something different with it. If I can find one that's just the right size. Oh, that one's kind of a long one. Oh, here we go. This is small. Okay, so we're going to do something a little different with this one. We're going to make another envelope with this one. I'm going to put them inside of each other. Okay, this is a little white out here, so let's put some distressing ink on it. Okay, so this is going to need some glue. What do I do with my glue stick? Here it is. Right there. Blink. And that's going to go ahead and do this, these edges here to fold up there. Okay, so we're going to have this little tiny envelope, and we'll put something inside this, and it's going to go inside this envelope. Isn't that cute? Let's see if we can fit this one inside another one that would fit on here. I'm not sure if I have one that would contain it, that would fit on here. I've got a big one, but it's too big to go there. But wouldn't it be fun if we can fit this inside of another one? Not quite big enough. Okay, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time looking here. Whoa, that's big, but that's too big for this. Okay, so we're going to do this. We're going to put this in here. This is an envelope that they'll pull out, and there will be another piece of stationery or something in there. And let's go ahead and I think let's see if we can fit a couple envelopes. I think we've got some other small ones here. Let's put this one. Is this small enough? Because we've got a lot of envelopes and I'd kind of like to use them all. So we can do that. And ooh, will it fit? I don't know. Yeah, it would have to go off unless we've got something that's smaller. Oh, here we've got two small ones. Let's put these two small ones on here. And I'm going to make these, I think, into writing spaces. For the directed journal, it's nice to have a lot of small writing spaces. So let's, oh no, we're going to make writing spaces. Okay, so this is, yeah, it's just plain inside. So let's go ahead and ink up our cooling rack. And I don't know why I inked it in the middle before. I'm going to ink it over here in the corner. It just makes it easier to know where I've inked it. Okay, and I'm going to put this down. And it's really a good idea to ink it between each application. You do get most of the ink onto your envelope. Boy, I moved that around some so the lines are going to be moved, but that's okay. That's kind of cool, right? Okay, and then let's put some more. I don't know what happened to my little roller tool because that's like perfect for this. And smooth it out on there so we get the lines touching it. And there we go. So we've got some nice little writing spaces. And you don't have to put lines on all your writing spaces. I don't. I just put it on some of them. Okay. Oh, I like that. That's pretty too, though. Yeah, let's do it this way. Okay. And I think we're just going to glue these down. We're not going to leave any openings for tags or cards behind these ones because they're so small. So I'm just going to glue all the way around the edge. And I'll have one over here. I don't want to have them stacked right on top of each other. It's okay if they are, but I kind of like to stagger them. And then I might put like a little piece of a scrap there to, yeah. I'll probably put like a little scrap of paper here to write on. Or maybe that'll be where I put the topic, the prompt for that page. That would be a good idea. Because these are so small, I can't really write a prompt on them. Okay, I'm going to put this one diagonal. Okay, so I got a little glue smeared while I was doing that. Let's just wipe that up. Okay, so you guys get the idea. If you've got the idea, you really don't need to watch anymore, but if you want to, you can. I'm just going to kind of be doing the same things probably. I mean, it's possible that I might come up with some really cool idea while I'm doing this, but not likely. Okay, so if you think you've got it, you don't need to keep watching, but I'm just going to keep letting the camera roll for a while here. I think I'm going to do this down here and then probably like a pocket. I'll do this up here and do like a pocket or something down below. Okay, so let's go ahead and fold this one. I'm going to make this into a writing space and I'm not going to, yeah, I will do lines because it's completely white inside. So let's do some lines. Oh, you know what? Yes, I do have something kind of creative to do. I'll show you. I just came up with this on the last journal that I was making and it's kind of fun. Okay, so we're going to do lines on this, on the inside here. I moved it so my lines might not be exactly right. Oh, they turned out pretty good. Okay, and then I want another one that's about the same size. So is that about the same size? Doesn't have to be exactly the same. Yeah, that'll work. Okay, so let's make our lines on this one. This is kind of fun. I did this with, I think, like 3 or 4 envelopes on my other journal, and it was very cool. But this will give you the idea, and then you can do it with more envelopes if you want to. Okay. All right, so let's get rid of this. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue these two parts together so that this can open up. It'll be like a cascade kind of thing. Okay, so I'm going to glue these two together. So I need my glue stick, this one here, and my catalog, which fell into the trash. And I'm going to glue that whole corner right here. Oops, don't want to get that. Okay, so we're going to glue that whole corner, that whole part right there. Okay, and I'm going to stick it to this. Okay, what I want to do is I want to line up that edge right there. Okay, that's the only thing that actually has to be lined up. Everything else, it's okay if it doesn't line up, but it's really important that that part lines up. Okay, so we've got that. All right, and then, yeah, so that'll be enough. So we'll just open it like that. Okay, so what we'll do then is we will close this like so. Okay, so it's going to be like this. Okay, so I'm going to glue down the whole thing, just this whole one envelope. Okay, I'm not going to leave any openings for cards or tags on this one, just because it makes it a little bit hard for the whole thing to open up if I do that when I've got this cascading thing going on. Okay, run that through. Okay, so I'm going to do that up here so that it has room to open. Okay, and then we're going to close this like this. Okay, so then what happens is when you open it,